皆さんこんにちは、しんぺいです。今回のインタビューゲストはルーマニア人のハイステークスキャッシュゲームプロ、そしてコーチでありますShowOfForceことダニエルさんにお越しいただきました。Daniel, thank you so much for joining the interview today.
Thank you for having me, sir.
Yeah.
I'm excited to be here.
Yeah, I was actually really surprised to learn that this is your first podcast appearance as a guest. So I'm quite honored to have you to this podcast and this opportunity.
Yeah. I usually interview friends who play high stakes, so I am used to being the interviewer generally. And yeah, I always like talk about like my kind of like takes on things as well. But yeah, I was thinking today, like, how is this gonna be being interviewed? So far it's amazing. I did not have to prepare anything. I did not have to prepare questions and stuff. So yeah, quite exciting. I'm curious to see how it goes. It's good to be here.
Yeah.
And I'm ready for whatever you have to shoot at me.
Okay, there you go. And you're quite famous among the high stakes community and also Bluff the Spot community and your Discord community. But fortunately or unfortunately, you're quite hidden gem from the Japanese community. Not many people know about you. When I searched your name, there's one Japanese website came up, and that website was showing all the high stakes players YouTube channel, and there's one description under your channel and it says good looking guy. So that was the
Good looking guy.
yeah, that was the only information that I could find in Japanese ShowOfForce. So for those people who who don't know about you, could you introduce yourself? When did you start playing poker? What was your journey quickly, and what do you do right now?
Yeah. First of all, I'm glad Japanese people think I'm good looking. I appreciate it. Yes, and yeah, like in a quick intro because I think this can get long when you watch other podcasts, and like a quick intro about me to get an idea of like where I come from. I think it's still important to kind of like get an idea of like what my journey is, so like what the experience I'm talking from. So yeah, you just mentioned I apparently started playing poker somewhere around 2010. So yeah, that's a long time ago. I turned pro, as in like I just started living from poker around like 12 years ago.
Okay.
And I started with, I remember I deposited like 35 euros of my own money, and I thought, okay, if this goes bad, I'm just gonna quit poker. And yeah, I just kept going up. It took me a while, and I think that's where my story maybe, like I'm working with students now, and I do coaching, and I keep hearing about these guys who like came up through the stakes so fast. They're like playing 500 NL in like, oh yeah, I started playing late last year or something like that. And for me, my poker journey took quite a while, and it was a struggle. Like in the first few years, I was stuck at 100 NL, 200 NL for a while. And after that, I decided to get coached, get a coach. It was a tough decision for me because I was always kind of proud, like whatever, I can figure out everything by myself. I don't need one. But there was this one guy who I really respected. I saw him at the high stakes tables all the time. And if I want to work with someone, I wanted to work with someone who plays high stakes, because I can have a long progression period by getting coached by him. If I get coached by someone who's playing 1-2 stakes above me, it's going to be fast until like, okay, I kind of know what he knows. So I saw and in that period, I saw the opportunity of MMAsherdog. Yeah, again, a lot of people know him. Just interviewed him like last 1-2 weeks ago. And I saw an announcement. He started his CFP with some guys, some friends. And I really jumped on it because I was very ready. I was determined, but I did not have the guidance. So easy. I moved to Malta, left everything behind in Romania, where I'm from, and left all my life behind, and decided to move after like some kids from the internet I knew for like 1 to 3 months asked me, hey, do you want to move in with us? we have a free spot here in the house, in the apartment with us. And that's kind of like where my boost really began, when I moved to Malta to live with MMAsherdog and run like Panda, the other head coach at the time in BTS, Bluff the Spot. And that's where things really started to click for me, getting coached, of course, living and seeing success with my own eyes. Again, I like to say the story, like seeing MMAsherdog say, hey, I'm up 75K today. Just like, but casually, like, oh, whatever. Right. I'm like, wow, this is actually possible. This is actually a thing. And I took a huge risk. Because my bankroll was 8-9K at the time, my whole bankroll, and I was playing at 100 NL, and I was paying like 2K per month in expenses because they have this expensive rent, and life in Malta is not really cheap. And I had to make money for rent, expenses, and I also had to give half of it away to the CFP. So that was very tough. That's like a big gamble, but I think sometimes you need to do that. And I kind of bet on myself. It's like an aggressive move, but it worked out. Pile Solver came out around the same period. I started going very crazy with the solvers. I really enjoyed studying with the solvers. One thing people don't really know about me, I don't think I am very talented natively, like intuitively, instinct. I don't think I have like very good poker instincts, especially like being friends with MMA for so long. I saw like he has very good poker instincts. For me, the solvers really helped me in my journey, because I have like this more like analytical, like it has to make sense, and I have like a more theoretical approach, and that really clicked with me as well. And I was obsessed with poker, moved to high stakes in quite a short time from then, moved to high stakes and lived like some very nice years in Malta. That's where kind of like my whole progress started from. And yeah, I've been playing high stakes since 2017. I looked in my vlogs to see like, when did I actually start playing? And yeah, I started playing high stakes in 2017. So that's 8 years ago. And yeah, since then, doing like some high stakes. I started coaching when I got there with them. I started coaching like around 2016, 17. I also worked with a ton of students. I probably worked with over 200 students so far. And yeah, I think that's kind of like a quick rundown of like how I came up. Of course, we can go into details and do some other stuff, but yeah, that's kind of like, I think, my quick background story. I stayed friends with MMA over the years. Like I lived with him for like 4 years, and then we stayed close friends. And yeah, like you saw, I'm gonna probably meet him for his birthday at the end of this month.
Yeah. So when you moved to Malta first time, and MMA is actually a little younger than you, right? So like 4 years younger, something like that. Yeah. So did you surprise like, a bunch of kids, just moving in?
Yeah, I still remember, because I had no idea how they look. And of course, like even then, like he was private and stuff, like, so I still remember I had the taxi that, like, to the address they gave me, and I go out to the taxi and I go this address, and then like with my luggage, and I see this like tall kid like, oh, are you Daniel? Like, oh yeah. Oh, I'm Walter. Hello. And like, oh, okay, cool. Hi. And yeah, I was just living with kids. Walter, like he's actually, I think like he's like 5 years younger than me.
Okay.
And the other guy, Andreas, he was even younger. So he was like 19 or something. And I think like, yeah, I think like Walter was like 21 or something. So I was like, yeah, moving in with these kids. I don't know what's going on, but like they're just very good at poker. Yeah, it was a very interesting experience in the beginning. Yeah. And seeing, okay, these guys are swinging like so much money every day. And it was a nice experience because they were humble. They were like, again, like, yeah, I was saying, I thought I was going to go live with some crazy ballers because I knew like, okay, they have money, but they were actually very just nice guys and very humble, very down to earth.
I guess frugal lifestyle too, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
That inspired me actually. It's like, oh, because here in Romania, I don't know, like probably it's not like this in Japan, but here in Romania, like if you have like a little bit of money, you kind of like to show it. And a lot of people here in this part of the world, at least, when they get some money, they like to again like show it and like change their lifestyle, do more like superficially cool things, and they kind of change their lifestyle a lot. And seeing they didn't, and they just like still, and who are the most impressionable, like these young kids, of course, they are the first ones who do this here in Romania. And the fact that they didn't do it, and they're still living very frugal, that really inspired me. Like, hey, I relate with this, and look, you don't have to be like crazy spender if you make a lot of money.
Okay. So I'm definitely going to dive into your Malta experience. I know that you stuck at the NL100 for 3 years. Struggle a lot of I guess sleepless night. But like you said, the MMAsherdog, he's a good friend. And the last time you were in the podcast, he mentioned something about GG's privatizing the high stakes, losing a lot of EV. So back then, when you are grinding, what was your daily life? Waking up, grinding, like a hardcore grinding. Like, what is your daily day look like?
I think I'm a bit different in that with my routine, that I tried all kinds of routines, and I know poker is the most profitable, like to play generally in the evenings at night. And I tried that for a while. I was doing that for a while, but it never stuck with me. In terms of routine, I tried it, it just didn't work. I was too tired in the evenings and couldn't focus enough. And so what I ended up doing, I was always playing the worst hours, because I was playing when I was like waking up in the after. So kind of afternoons. I was playing afternoons, which are generally the worst. But that's when I was the most focused. And so I would probably wake up around 11 a.m. Let's say. I always went to bed late all my life. So I wake up around 10, 11. I maybe have breakfast. And then I start working. I start grinding because that's when I'm the most fresh. I really try to take, and even to this day, this kind of routine stuck with me. I try to, like, when I'm the most fresh, do the hardest things. So I would try to like perform and like really play my sessions shortly after I wake up, and maybe have a break, play again. And then I would do probably like studying somewhere after. I do some studying after the sessions. And I go to the gym in the evenings, in the last part of the day, second part of the day. Maybe hang out a bit afterwards, like have some dinner with the girlfriend at the time, or just hang out. And that's it.
Okay.
That was like my routine when I was coming up. Like, I was not doing anything else. I was just like working out, eating clean. I was like optimizing my whole lifestyle so I can perform the best I can for poker. I did not really do many things. And I still remember, okay, I had these periods where like I was partying a bit, but actually when I progressed fast, when I went to high stakes, one of the other guys, poker guys there, said about me like, oh yeah, Daniel, like he used to come out with us to party a lot, and somehow like at some point like he disappeared. He started coming out with us, and he's playing high stakes now. And I realized, oh yeah, that was actually a big one. Like, I just like had to give up everything else and really focus on this, because this was like by far the most important thing for me. So nothing crazy, like just building everything around performing as much as possible. And I went to very crazy lengths for that.
What do you mean by that?
I went to very crazy. I mean, we can get juicy a bit here, but for example, I was trying to not have too much sex, for example.
Okay.
I had this theory.
All right. No fap,
okay, no fap. So, I mean, and this is like a secret performance hack. I decided so this was like the extent I was taking it. I want to ejaculate once a week.
Okay.
And that's Saturdays, because Sundays I take off, so I can have a day off to recover. And that's gonna be it. That's the price. That's how you get to high stakes.
Wow. ladies and gentlemen, that's how you become a high stakes poker player. Scheduling your ejaculation time.
Yeah, and I like now I think about this and like what the fuck, like I was so crazy about this, but yeah, I was just like gonna do anything I can, and it did work. So like, but I think looking back, it did show. Hey, I think it does actually work. But it kind of shows to me like how committed I was. Like I was like, okay, and I was still having sex more than once a week, but I was like, no, I was like having sex, okay, but I'm not gonna.
What?
I had to wait until No, I was like probably like almost every day.
Wow.
But like I know this is not ejaculating day. No, Saturday evening.
Like, how's your balls feeling? Isn't like like
Tough sometimes, but that's the price. Again, that's the price.
wow.
If you
Okay.
want to. That's my edge. Who else can do this? Who else? That's my edge. That's
Wow.
how I take over the other guys in high stakes.
All right, this is definitely gonna be on the shorts. High stakes poker player, don't ejaculate. Just going after. Wow. Yeah.
I've been talking to other high stakes pros about this. They know what's up. This is a secret in the high stakes scene. Like there are some other guys who are like, huh, like I got two responses. Like one are like, oh yeah, I do that as well. Like I'm very careful with that. Or like, oh wait, yeah, I did not think about this, but this makes so much sense. Yeah, I'm gonna try it.
Makes so much sense.
Yeah. It's like, oh, you know what? You are right. Like, it doesn't feel like, my performance goes down.
Oh,
It's like,
wow.
yeah, of course.
I was always thinking that high stakes players are a little, up there, but I didn't think that, you guys are like, woo woo, like, wow, cool.
Bro, this is not woo. I mean, this is facts.
Facts, yeah.
Probably maybe this is scientific. Maybe this is scientific as well, but I definitely feel it.
Okay.
This is not spiritual. I mean, maybe it's spiritual as well, but no. Yeah, it works.
mental. Yeah, there you go. And
Experiment.
and other sacrifices, other than that, like what was the biggest sacrifice you made?
I don't think like it's not too tough. I don't think I made very big sacrifices. So when you say sacrifice, I'm thinking about stuff I really wanted to do, and I didn't, and I gave it up. Like I sacrificed a lot of going out and partying, but that's not something it was really important for me. So because getting good at poker was by far the most important thing in my life, not doing the other stuff did not feel like a sacrifice. So maybe like social life. Sometimes I would feel like, I kind of want to like freestyle, party a bit more, meet people, socialize a bit more. Maybe that sometimes I kind of felt like I would want to do this more. So maybe that's one part I sacrificed. Yeah, that's the first thing that comes to mind, because poker really gave me a lifestyle that I really love, that I really wanted, having the freedom to work when I want, and if I want to, and with who I want to. So I did not feel like I made big sacrifices.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah, because when you started your poker blog, right, and there's a quote. It says, "I want to get money, get shredded, get bitches." That was your thing.
Yeah.
So anything else wasn't,
confirmed. I did it, and yeah, actually, that's what I did, and because I also say like I actually want to like complete that with a bit like, yes, I also did not really sacrifice too much of the other stuff, so I did not go too crazy. My life was always kind of balanced, like shredded. Like I was always in very good shape. Socially, like I would still like hang out with girls and stuff, but just like would not do it too much. But it's not like I just really shut off that part of my life. I always had a balanced life because I felt like, hey, if I'm happy from these other areas, this also improves my poker as well. But as long as I don't go too much into them, and that's kind of like the sacrifice. Okay, I would want to do like more of this kind of stuff, like hanging out and stuff, but I want to focus.
So it's like between balance and focus and immersion and the all in or nothing. It's just finding a balance, I guess.
Yeah. That's where me and MMA maybe are different, or like some other guys. And I know some other guys are extreme. That's fine. That works for them. For me, like maybe I want to like be an example for people that you don't have to be like very extreme. And because I think like not working out, I think it actually hurts your performance. I think being unhappy from being too lonely, like I think it hurts your performance. Like it's not something like, oh yeah, you have to pay these insane prices for this kind of stuff. I think it actually hurts you. So I always had some amount of balance, but it was more like 80% poker, and like 20% this other stuff. But this other 20% was like enhancing my poker anyway. So in a way, like 100% was towards poker.
I see. So like your life was always somewhat investing towards poker and get out something. Then it's like a flywheel, right? Like just always working for it. Okay.
Yes.
Okay. And going back to MMA's podcast, he was talking about investment. There's a good quote. He says, no investment is better than bad investment. And there was a part that you were almost telling that your investment mistakes or something, but you actually didn't. So is there some investment mistakes that you can share with us so that we can learn from?
Yeah. Sure. And I'm hoping I'm gonna save you guys a lot of money here, because it's the kind of thing you're not aware of, and I would hope some people get aware from like hearing stuff from me. So what happens when you start making money and you start having some money aside from poker, from whatever else? You start having this urge, this feeling of like, oh, I need to like make more money with this money. Why would I just let this money sit around? Just make money, like have money make money for you. Just, I don't know, Warren Buffett. And I was like, oh yeah, I'm Daniel Buffett. Trying to do like investments, make this money work for me, and just grow my role with investments and stuff. And that's the first big bias. The illusion of you're good at poker and your decisions are good at like whatever your field is, but like here it's poker. And the illusion is like, oh, I can make good decisions outside of poker as well. Forgetting, well, my good decisions in poker are because I obsessed over this for many years, not because I'm just naturally so smart. So yeah, I started thinking, okay, I want to like reinvest, like invest some money, and somehow, in a miraculous way, when you have money, like opportunities come to you, like for investing, and you're like, oh, perfect, and oh yeah, amazing. Of course, I'm gonna, this opportunity, let's go into it. Yeah, like easy money. This is how you do it. And I was like feeling such a baller already. Like, oh yeah, smart. Daniel Buffett, investment. And yeah, there was this opportunity that came to me with some of my Greek friends. Shout out to my Greek friends, fellow scammed. One of my friends who I actually also coached, one of my like poker friends, he was telling me about this deal, with supercars, that they knew a guy who's like very smart and has this. He does these deals with supercars. In short, he was like buying them from like some other countries and like selling them for more expensive. I think it may be in Canada actually. And he needed the liquidity to buy these cars, and then he would sell them for more expensive, and he makes the profit from it. And if we put money up front for the cars, we can we can get part of the profits. And you would make like maybe like, let's say like 8% return per month, something like that, 8, 9, 10, 11% return per month. Very nice. And I was like, but are you sure about this? Oh yeah, this guy is very smart. We even have like a contract with him. And yeah, he did like smart stuff. Like he's kind of like recommended by people, and this makes a lot of sense. So I'm like, okay. And he actually even like paid people out. And we did like, I think like 1, 2, 3 cycles of like where he did pay us out. And then like at some point that stopped. And he came into some issues. And whatever, like short story, like we ended up not seeing the money again. And of course, like and I know one of the guys who was in this, one of like the poker guys, he had his whole bankroll in this. I was like, okay, that's definitely not a professional, like good poker pro move. Like if you're a poker pro, you're not gonna put your whole bankroll in something. But yeah, and so I lost quite a bit of money with that, but I learned so much from it that so I have like some rules for myself, and that showed me like I don't work, and this is stuff I talk with MMA as well. I don't work with friends of friends. Like if I know someone, I have to really trust them. I trust them, but if he trusts someone else, it's already too much. Like I would rather like not do that, and I would not work with too many people, because here like there was like a chain of people, like too many people involved. So that means like more places in which it can go wrong. And especially me not knowing these people. So I realized, not working with people I don't know, even friends of friends that are vouched for by my friends, it's gonna be very hard for me to do that. Because again, it's you don't know people, and I would just work with the people I really, really trust. And especially when there's a lot of money on the line, there's so many incentives to get scammed. And I don't do deals. I also don't do deals with stuff. Do you have too many unknowns? I did not know all the details of like how it worked, and it's not my area of expertise. So I realized if I don't know how this even works, like very specifically, and why this makes money and why this is so legit, I should not do it. I should not get into it. Even yesterday, I have a very recent example for you from yesterday. I had this investment opportunity, like a perfect example, friend of a friend, like, and I actually know him. I actually know him for like maybe like 2 years. So we kind of like go back and forth a bit. We see each other sometimes, like we hang out in my extended group of friends, and he calls me and asks about investing in a restaurant. He wants to do that. He will do that with him and like some friends, and he was asking me if I want to do it as well. And it sounded very tempting, because again, I think he's a very smart guy. He's very competent, and it sounded like like very hype.
Okay.
Right? Like he hyped me up, and but I know myself, right? I made so many mistakes, and I said, okay, I'm gonna think about it. And whatever you do in this kind of stuff, in these kind of points, just take time to think about it. Because if you're like me, you're gonna be greedy, and you're gonna think about all the money you can make, and that will make you like really jump on opportunities, be reckless, and make bad decisions, emotional decisions, instead of like rational decisions. So then I thought about it yesterday. I was like, okay, I'm gonna think about it, thanks. And I really wanted to do it, but then I realized, well, I haven't really worked with him in something like very specific, and I haven't known him for so long. And there's so many unknowns. I don't know the restaurant business. There's so many unknowns, and there's like also a big amount of money. So I decided, no, I'm not gonna do it. And it goes back to the MMA mantra. Like that's my favorite quote from him. No investment is better than a bad investment.
Yeah.
And that's kind of like, I would say, if I would compress the main lessons I got is, like I said, don't work with people you don't know. Don't work with stuff that there are too many unknowns. And a big thing is you don't know what you don't know. You cannot estimate the risk properly. You always think you can. You always think, oh, I kind of know the risk here and I know how much I should invest, but you don't. Chances are, if you don't really understand what's going on, like at a deep level, you don't have a lot of expertise, you don't know all the information. And my advice to you is like play a more defensive game with investments, especially stuff you don't know. And don't be greedy. Try to grow your bankroll, because I made many mistakes. I lost a lot of money in a lot of things. And just be patient. And if something sounds too good to be true, it usually is.
Okay. Yeah, that mantra actually saved me yesterday. Actually, my friend actually asked me to buy NFTs, and he has nothing to do with it. So he wasn't trying to scam me, but like, that's good, sounds good. But like, I don't know, again, right? Like, I have no idea how this works. I don't know when to sell. I don't know how the price is going to up and down. And I told him, no investment is better than bad investment. And he said like, you know what? You're right. So it actually saved me $1,000.
Good.
1K, yeah. So
good.
Yeah, it was good.
Good. Yeah. There's like, I think that's kind of like something you learn, and I hope you guys don't learn by mistakes, but you learn actually good profitable opportunities are very rare. A lot of them will look like this will make me a lot of money, but probably like 5 to 10% of that will actually make you money. And probably like less than 5% will make you a lot of money. So, but again, when you have money and you have money to invest, everything looks like, oh, everything is so profitable.
Yeah, I see. And now, I got the really chunk of the saving money, how do you say, advice. And now I like to move on to a poker side and going to MMA's podcast that you actually asked him what is the fastest way to go from 50K to 5K. And he gave the framework, play every day, spend no money.
NL50, you mean?
Sorry, NL50 to 5K.
The fastest way to go from 50K to 5K is like invest in NFTs.
Sorry.
To lose the 45K.
Sorry, 50 NL to 5K. Yeah. Or meme coin, Dogecoin, whatever. Yeah. So, So his actual framework was play every day, spend no money, save money, and invest. That was a general framework. And you also have the roadmap. I think almost a year ago, you put the video, like off the table work, quality session, professional approach, optimized life routine. And again, that is more general GTO framework. And I would like to ask you more like spot specifically, because you have a lot of expertise with a bunch of students, so a lot of students making mistakes and what are the biggest leaks. So what is your poker study roadmap?
Okay, so you mean like specifically for studying, right?
Studying in spot specifically.
Yeah. I would say start with the most important and frequent spots. In that terms, even like stepping back a bit, try to study with the solvers. Yes, nowadays, very solver-centric, GTO wizard, all this kind of stuff. Yeah, it's very, very useful, very good. But as you're studying, even before the spots, it's important how you study. And like the GTO stuff is very good. But try to always think, as you're looking at GTO stuff, try to always ask yourself, like, why is this happening? And understanding principles and reasons behind your plays and the solver plays. Don't try to copy it, because you will not understand, you will not remember, and you will misapply a lot of stuff. So really, I think it's very important that you, as much as possible, and it's hard in the beginning to understand what's going on, but as much as possible, ask yourself and have theories and like change things in the sim. Change things like, I think this happens because this guy doesn't have this in his range. Let's put that in his range. Let's see if this changes what I thought it would change. Okay, it does. Good. This is why it's going on then. Like, I understand now. Like, I think this hand is check raising because it's very shallow SPR. Like, it's a 4-bet pot, so one pair is good enough to get it in on the flop here because of the SPR. I think if I make the SPR 10 times bigger, like in a single raise pot, I think actually this hand will not play as aggressively. And this kind of experiments, not even like what spots you work on, but like I think it's more like important to know how things work and why they work like that. This kind of experiments really helped me progress a lot. And I know it's boring. It takes mental work. It's not like, I'm just gonna look at something passively. But I think this will really improve you. And especially in the beginning, when there's a lot of unknowns, you don't know what you don't know, you don't understand much. Look at coaches, look at other people explaining stuff. And yeah, a lot of guys are not that good, but they will still be better than you. And they will still move you forward, and find guys whose thought process you respect, you resonate with, and learn from them. I think it's easy nowadays to get stuck and lost in solvers and just looking at technical stuff, but you don't know what's going on there. So look at people who are more advanced than you, who understand better than you what's going on, and learn like that. And as you get better, you will become more independent as a learner. But especially in the beginning stages, up to 100 L, 200 L, try to learn from other people as well from the solvers. And as you get better, okay, go to the solvers more.
I see. But again, like as you said, there's so many, even coaches, right? So many coaches, so many videos to choose from. So as you said, the most frequent one, sing raise pot, something like that, flop.
Yeah. So with strategy now, like with spots, just start with the most frequent spots. Yeah, like button, big blind, small blind, big blind, these single raise spots, 3-bet pots, small blind button, and just like study this like last three positions and the dynamics between them, because these happen at a high frequency. And a lot of the principles, then again, if you look at the principles and why things happen, you can extrapolate to the other spots as well. So that's why it's so important. You have in all these 3 spots, you have in position play, you have out of position play, in position with initiative, without initiative. Study these 3 spots in the beginning. Have as simple of a strategy as possible. Try to simplify as much as possible. Don't try to do these crazy mixes. It's easy to think, oh, the more complex my game plan, the better it will be. There's this thing, people like, I had this as well, like, oh, the more crazy I play, the better I will play. But it's actually not true. In a lot of spots, you get worse by trying to play something too complex for your level. So first, try to play simplified strategies, master them. If you have it's easier if you range bet flop and then you have to only play turn and river, and then you learn the principles for turn and river very well, because you have like one less street to worry about, and master that. And then after you master the simplified strategies, make them gradually more complex for all of these spots, and then expand to the other spots as well. But start simple and start mixing more later on. Don't overwhelm yourself. Try to again focus on understanding what's going on when things are simple, and then move towards more complex.
I see. But some people
and with your strategies,
go ahead.
Sorry, I think something that really helped me, try to have strategies, play them and even force them a bit. Don't worry about accuracy, like EV loss. Try to maybe even force it a bit sometimes, to play them very similar to how you would translate them to other spots. So if I play small blind button, 3-bet pot, I'll play small blind cutoff in the same way, with the same type of size. Okay, the frequencies will change, the range versus range will change, but I'll try to use the same sizes, for example. And I try to extrapolate certain types of my strategies, certain portions, to others as well. So this way you don't have to learn so many strategies in 6 max. There's so many spots, because now you can have these core strategies, and you just adjust them to other spots. And this will help you with retention and making sense of strategies. Every one spot has its own strategy. Don't do that. They come up, especially the early positions, the lower frequency ones, they come up so rarely that you forget them all the time. Because I worked on this spot and it comes every 2-3 weeks. So of course you're not gonna know how to play it if you just have this separate strat.
And maybe if you learn the SB versus cutoff, and small blind versus UTGs, maybe only small difference, right? Maybe a tighter range on the pre-flop, maybe less aggressive on the flop, something like that. So understanding principles is probably really works, right?
Yeah, don't try to understand them independently. Try to understand, this is the baseline small blind button, and how can I adjust that baseline? Because it's small blind button I know very well, and let's adjust that to small blind UTG. Don't restudy from scratch small blind UTG and make a completely different approach there. It's gonna be too much for you.
I see. And regarding to the principle, it's similar to that. But what is most useful poker theory that you think most important one that people should learn?
One that really, I think, improved me the most, and I think a lot of people, maybe it's more basic, but I think a lot of students of mine, even a lot of people still don't really fully understand it, is river play theory.
Okay.
The GTO of river play. Because I see people making mistakes here all the time still. And it's the fact that the GTO, how the GTO works, that what I used to think, and many people, is if someone under bluffs the river, let's say, like slightly under bluffs, they should bet like 10 combos as a bluff and they bet 9, right? Like try to under bluff, you should slightly overfold, right? That's kind of like, I think that kind of makes sense. That's what, I mean, it did make sense. Of course, he bluffs a bit, he bluffs less, so you have to like fold a bit more. You're folding, instead of 10 combos, you're folding 11 combos. Okay. And what people don't understand is like, no, that's not how it works. You should actually fold everything. Now, you should fold your whole range, because when they have one bluff less, even just one combo less, all your bluff catches are minus EV, and folding is 0 EV, so you should just like fold everything, because it's more profitable to fold everything than calling any one combo is gonna lose you money. So if you want to maximize the money you want to make, you have to fold everything there. And this has a lot of implications, and it's I think a lot of people think kind of maybe they understand this first glance, but they don't think about the implications. And if you think about that, so the opposite is obviously true. If someone is slightly over bluffing, you should call everything. So this really solves river play. Instead of having to count your exact GTO combos to defend, you can actually deviate towards like, do I think this guy is under bluffing or over bluffing? And that makes it more like way easier for you to make river decisions. And the river decisions are very important. Instead of like, let's try to figure out the perfect frequency. Don't try to hit the perfect frequency. Try to exploit what the other guy is doing, and you're gonna make way more money like that. So I think that's a big principle that saved me and my students a lot of money. Focus on exploiting rivers more. And of course, you still need to know for this, you still need to roughly know, okay, his size, he bet this amount. So how many value combos does he have here roughly? Okay, I think he has more like roughly like 20 value combos. He bets pot, he needs kind of like 10 bluffs. Okay, well, I need to know he kind of needs 10 bluffs, because then I can know, I think he has actually way less than 10 bluffs, or he has way more. And of course, you will never be sure. You will never be 100% sure. And of course, that's why in other spots where you're not 100% sure, you don't fold your whole range, because it can be a big mistake. You don't call your whole range, because it can be a big mistake. But you can significantly overdo it, underdo it. Yeah, I was gonna say like, like people can adjust against you. Like the only way people can counter you is like, let's say if you're calling whole range.
Yeah.
And they see, this guy called something that is very low in his range. He must be thinking I'm over bluffing here, and I'm gonna use that in the future about like against him. Don't worry about that, guys. It's like when you get to like 2K, 5K, like you can worry about that, but people will not generally pick up on it. So don't. That's one thing.
Yeah.
Play way more. Try to exploit first. Don't try to not get exploited.
I see. And again, like I think you mentioned in some of the video too, like people are not really exploiting you, right? It's in your head, I'm getting exploited. Like it's kind of GTO era, right? Like, phobia.
Paranoia. Yeah, it's like paranoia of like, but I'm gonna be exploitable. Like that's what I try to tell my students over and over. Like, do you even understand like how hard, like how many steps someone has to go through to actually exploit you? So, and that's what I tell them, like to kind of ease their mind. It's like, okay, so first of all, he has to know what the correct play is in a spot. He needs to know the solution. Second of all, he needs to see you deviated from the solution. Third of all, he needs to like really take a note on it and like really remember that you did that. Fourth, he needs to know how to counter you. That's not easy. That's not easy in a lot of spots. That's not very intuitive. He needs to know what the counter is. And 5, he needs to actually remember and execute the counter in a similar spot in the future. And that's so much focus that goes into that. That's so hard. Like there's so few people who actually do that. Most people just autopilot many tables, just like click, 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 click. They just like have like a call in the background or like watching a YouTube video. Don't worry. You're playing you're playing overly defensive when you should be playing way more aggressive. So you're making even like this to help you guys like being less paranoid. So think of it like this. Okay, you want to exploit people, right? Like you have these exploits, but you're scared you're gonna get counter exploited. So let's say like GTO, kind of let's say if everyone plays GTO, you're making zero money, right? You're like just swapping money around, paying rake. You're minus EV because you're paying rake. Okay, so everyone is zero. You want to exploit people, which makes you money, right? Because exploiting means you're seeing mistakes, you're seeing leaks, and you're gonna go for them. And most people are afraid to do that because they can get countered. But I would argue, I mean, it's not argue, that's how it is. Okay, you do some exploiting, and you make a lot more money if you have this approach of aggressive attack, look for spots, look for leaks, and attack them. You're gonna make some money. You're gonna make a lot more money. And then yes, there will be some guys who counter you. And that will bring your win rate like a bit less, but you're still making all of this extra money. So not everyone will counter you. Like maybe like 1, 2 out of 10 times you're getting countered, it lowers your EV. But overall with this whole approach of being aggressive and unbalanced, you're still making more money than if you're like zero here. So if sometimes people will counter you, you're still making way more. So don't be afraid to do it. That's one of the mistakes. That's one of the misconceptions people have about high stakes pros. People think high stakes pros, they are GTO wizards. They're like playing. I used to think that. Oh, they are like playing very GTO, very theoretically correct, and they're so unexploitable. No, the high stakes guys are the guys, like the high stakes guys I know, and the guys who are crushing. They are the guys who are exploiting the most. They are the most unbalanced in a lot of spots. Of course, it's not hard to counter them. It's not easy to counter them. Of course, they will be smart about it, but they're not playing GTO. You're playing way more GTO than they are.
I see. And as you said, that is the most useful or biggest misconception. What is the most useless one, do you think, or harmful one for the low stakes player to maybe misapplying it, too easily, or something too advanced that they don't need to think about it?
Well, I think one mistake is like they play too many tables and they don't take enough time about, I think the biggest thing that harms their game, they don't think about decisions enough. That's what I see over and over. And that's the big gap between low, mid stakes and high stakes guys. That's one of the biggest gap I try to teach my students is in every hand, try to extract the max EV you can. Try to take every small spot edge. Push people around, like take every spot you can, really maximize every hand you can. And I don't see that. I see like they're like too careless and like whatever, I'm just not gonna spend time to think about this hand, it's just a small pot, I don't care about it, or I'm just gonna play more tables, put more volume in. I think that's they don't emphasize quality enough. And and that's fine. If you want to play low stakes, mid stakes, and grind a lot there and you can still make good money there. Okay, keep doing that. But if you want to go to high stakes, quality is a must. The games are not that easy anymore. Like for quite a few years, the games are not that easy. You cannot get away with not trying your best every hand. You have to like play less tables and think about everything. Try to like exploit every small edge.
Like one example,
that's one.
Yeah, one example about that. I just think about it. Let's say like you flop, even river, like you're just betting like 78% pot, but like can I bet pot? And if I'm gonna get called, something like that, right?
Yeah. So that's a good example actually. And or like one you can say is in a spot like that. I think here checking makes me money. It's plus EV, so it's the best. No, like I think the profitable play here is to check, but betting and maybe turning my hand into a bluff is actually even more profitable. So trying to like find the highest EV play, not just like a plus EV play. And it's easy to be lazy and like, oh yeah, this is probably a good play, so I'm just gonna do it. But are you doing the best play? Or like you said, yeah, like I think betting like whatever 3/4 spot here is making money, it's good, but can I actually bet like quite bigger here and extract more value? And both are good plays, but one is the superior play. So try to make like the superior play. Don't get lazy and complacent of like, oh, okay, just gonna use my preset stuff and move on to the next hand. You're not doing a job. You're not like working for Facebook or something, like we're doing ads or I don't know what people are doing in their jobs. Like you're not doing like, oh, okay, this is my task, I'm just gonna do this. Or 3/4 here. Okay, this is a check here. No, you like see yourself as like an elite athlete. You're like athlete. You're trying there to like perform at the highest level possible. You're not just doing a job. If you want to make it and like you want to be like crush high stakes, you need that mindset of like you're an elite athlete. You're not like, oh, I'm at my job and gonna do my stuff here and then I'm gonna like finish and do my watch Netflix. You're not gonna do anything like that.
I see. Yeah, going back to your river play, like just think about it. Let's say like you have in position river and you have some sort of checkbacks, but your checkbacks, you do that because you're not gonna get the bluff check raised by the OOP. So let's say in low stakes, less aggression, you should go more thinner than checking back those hands. Something like that.
Yeah, exactly. Like people will not get you off your equity. And exactly. They will not bluff you there. And if they have a value, they're way too much inclined towards value, let's say, and you can easily bet fold, for example. Yeah, you can easily bet fold because they will never bluff enough. But maybe they still sometimes call you with the worst hand.
Yeah.
So yeah, then betting is better. And I get it. It's more stressful. I don't want to get check raised. I think a lot of people avoid stressful decisions. Like they don't want to get themselves in a stressful spot. And I get it. I had that a lot. Like, oh, I'm gonna check here because I don't want to bet and get check raised. It's just too stressful. I don't want to get put into a tough spot. Just study more. I'd say study more and understand the game better and like don't have tough. But like I know this is a bet or it's not a bet. And if I bet and he check raises me, I can navigate this spot and I can do it. I can navigate it and I know what to do. I will figure it out. Don't be afraid to take a plus EV decision if you think it's plus EV. If you don't think, okay, don't do it. But if you're just scared, be aware of that.
And there's your top 5 lessons video. It was published on the 2017. The top 5 lessons I wish I learned earlier. The first was rake matters. Second one is variance crushes soul. Third one is exploit versus balanced. Poker is not playing GTO. Poker is about makes money. It's a good quote. Number 4 is coaching. Number 5 is poker friends. What's your 2025 version of this top 5 lessons? Is it still same or do you add something?
Wait, can you say the list again?
Rake matters, variance crashes soul, exploit versus balance, coaching, poker friends.
Okay. So like a list like this for what, like the biggest lessons?
Yeah, that you should learn early. Wish early.
Yeah, I wish I learned earlier.
Yeah.
Let's see, like an up-to-date list since 2017. I think it's like that's a good list actually. The rake thing, I still think it's rake is so invisible. It's so hard to see how you're losing to rake. It's like inflation. It's like, okay, like you don't see like money getting out of your bank account. And the same with rake. And you don't like when you're paying a lot of rake and you're just getting destroyed by rake, it doesn't feel like it. You're not getting owned in a hand. You're not losing a big pot. So it doesn't feel like you're bleeding money away, but you are. And that's kept me back a lot. Like, so keeping rake, that's important. And I would tie it. So in 2025, what I would say is game selection. Yeah. I would say like a big update to that list is, and game selection does imply thinking about rake and taking rake into account. I wish I learned game selection much earlier and understanding it at a deep level, as in, yeah, like knowing my edge, trying to have like 2-3 BB per 100 win rate and knowing how to estimate that. That's really a make or break. Like I've seen like very, very smart, talented players not make some like game selection. Like once you understand it and you take that into consideration, it's very easy. It's not like this crazy science. And just because they didn't make this small click in their mind with game selection, this small adjustment in their approach, they could be like huge crushers, but they're breaking even or losing players. So game selection is like one that I would really, really add it to this list. This definitely I wish I learned earlier. Yeah, like another big one is probably getting coached.
Yeah.
Again, but I know that's in there as well. Like seeing a coach after some point, like after you get stuck, because in the beginning you learn from general like courses, content, solver, whatever, but at some point you get stuck. If you're like me, you hate spending money on stuff. Like you spend without seeing, like if you're like me, you would see coaching like as an expense. Oh, like why would I spend like all this money, like all these buy-ins for some poker knowledge? Like this doesn't make sense. And now how I see it is, no, it's actually an investment in your game. The idea is you pay this guy this money, and in return for that, you get way more money back from that. It's like, so it should be like, you should see coaching as a very passive investment. And of course you need to do your homework, and you do need to like, don't take a coaching from anyone, and you need to really, but that's the decision. Okay, I need to be convinced, whatever. I need to know that it's a passive investment and see it as an investment, not as an expense. Because the idea is like, if you have a good coach, he can show you like a path to work on. Instead of you like going up and down, like it saves you so much time, because this guy, hey, do this, and that's what that's the biggest thing about the coach. He was like, look for someone who's playing the stakes you want to play, and who's good at explaining stuff, because that's also important. And just get his guys like, hey, how do I get to like where you are? And you'll progress much faster than trying to like go around, because there's so much information. So like coaching, I would say, is like another huge one. But only do coaching, like if you want to do it, only do it when you feel like you're a bit stuck, but especially when you're ready to work hard. I always look for this students, like, I'm gonna tell you what to do, but like, are you gonna like put a shit ton of work into this? Like aside from our sessions, okay, we do our session, but are you ready to like put in a lot of work based on what we're talking? And otherwise, don't really bother getting a coach if you're not willing to like work very hard, because it's not going to help you as much. The coach will not like transform magically your game. And just like poker friends, like poker can be a lonely thing. Online poker can be very lonely. So just like having people you just keep talking to, and you just exchange opinions with, but just like feeling like I'm part of something, I'm part of a community, I'm part of like some, like socially I feel like accepted, and I'm not this like crazy guy who's like playing poker on his own, and I don't know anyone who plays poker, and I'm just this crazy guy. It gives you a lot of comfort. Of course, aside from improving a game, can really improve like constantly reviewing each other's game and working together. But networking, finding poker friends, it's also like something I did do quite early-ish, but maybe I should have done it even earlier, like put myself out there and find poker friends.
I see.
Yeah, and I think that the last one I would say, I don't know how much I said it there, but it ties into the game selection part. But yeah, having a professional approach, seeing yourself not only as a good player, but so not trying only to be a very good poker player. Being a professional poker player is what you want. Being a professional poker player is so much than just being very good at poker. So much more. Again, it's the game selection, it's the bankroll management, it's like how you manage your playing hours, how you manage your like the sites you play on, the time zone you play, and like if you're like maybe traveling to play from a better time zone, like the investments you make in your game. Again, maybe you get the coach. Just like everything can come together into like being a better professional. See yourself as a professional. There's so many other skills that, yeah, being good at poker is very good, but you need many other things.
That the many other thing that doesn't really show, right? Like behind of the scene kind of thing. Yeah, that's something like Cristiano Ronaldo was saying that, no, everyone wants to be Cristiano, but like you have no idea what I do behind the scene, how much sacrifice he makes. And because he's great at the pitch because he does all the things, nutrition, sleep, recovery, everything. So yeah, professional approach, I guess. Yeah, that's really good. Okay. Now we are an hour in, so I actually really like to get to your life stories. But before going to that, like I actually need to ask you the what is the requirement to become a poker coach? Because there's a lot of coaches out there, right? It's really hard to pick one, and also there's no exam or license to become poker coach, right? If you say you're a poker coach, you're a poker coach. So what would be your guideline or requirement that you think that they need to claim that they're actually a poker coach?
That's a good one. Yeah, because a lot of people, like I hear this of like saying, well, don't get coaching by guys because like if they're a coach, they're probably not making money. If they're making money, why are they coaching? And I think that's actually true for a lot of the coaches. I mean, the easiest one is, like I said earlier, they're like playing the games you want to play. So they should be playing these games. Because if they're playing high stakes, chances are like they are around that level. And it's like big, if you're playing 100, 200 L, they would not be like, just the fact that they're there and they're active there, they probably like know some stuff. Like the fact that they stay there, that they don't go down in stakes. They don't have infinite money, so if they would be losing, they would go down in stakes or just disappear at some point, which happens. So yeah, in order to be a poker coach, interesting. I think first of all is you want to be interested in coaching people and improving them, and be interested in understanding how other players think. I think you need an analytical approach, for example, to the game, because I think that's what makes students easier to learn from me, because I have a very analytical, theoretical approach to the game. If I would just be very good instinctively, instincts, it's hard to teach them. You cannot teach like, oh, I just know this is a good spot here. I just know like this guy doesn't have it. You cannot teach that. So I would say as a coach, the more like theoretical you are, the better, because you can explain concepts. And yeah, you need to like do good in your games and the games you're playing, and be active and do good. And I would not want to get coached by someone who's not active in their games.
Yeah.
and I'm a bit of a hypocrite right now because I'm doing that actually. Like I haven't played like so yeah, GG cut my EV to half, so I haven't been playing much. I'm just staying sharp by coaching actually, and I'm studying a lot and I'm staying sharp by coaching. But I think that's important, like being in touch. And some guys I know, like they play like higher stakes, so like I coach, and so I still keep in touch with the games like that. But ideally, the guy has a lot of experience. Well, I also like have a lot of experience, but yeah, ideally the guy is again like doing well in those games. That so like I think like being active is important, but not that many requirements. I think like you need to be analytical, you need to be like actively playing, and you need to want to improve people. Because otherwise you'll not try, and I really hate that. Like if people like, especially they're gonna pay you money and you don't feel like trying, you're just gonna take their money. It's just scummy behavior. Like always when I have a coaching, I know okay, this guy is paying me a lot of money. I respect that he trusts me with his money, so I'm gonna try to give like 110% every session. I'm gonna like be prepared. I'm gonna like really try hard. I don't care. Like I'm gonna, even if I'm tired, I'm just gonna drink this like black tea here, and I'm gonna be like really push myself hard for this session, and then I'm whatever. Then I can do other stuff and rest. But take it very seriously. If you want to be a coach, really respect your students. I would say like really respect your students and be prepared, and like be prepared to work hard for them as well.
Yes. Because it goes both ways, right?
Yeah. Of course, it's you also want students who work hard with you. Yeah. So yeah, I don't think it's too many things. Having integrity, I think it's very important as a coach, and not trying to like be misleading. That's why like yeah, now like I do feel like a bit off about like I'm not very active now with playing itself, so I'm not really promoting myself as a coach. Like I'm not looking for students. Like people like still look for me, and I'm not really taking students. But like maybe I do take one or two. But like I am very selective, and I don't really want to like, oh, look at me, like I want to do all this coaching now, because it doesn't feel like I should be doing that. So I try to keep my integrity, and like if like I tell people, they know okay, I'm not very active now, but I am still like very sharp from like preparing for all my coachings, and I'm still like coaching a little bit. So and yeah, still playing like I still like talking to poker pros and stuff, but I would say like integrity is like the most important actually as a coach, because it's so easy to like try to scam people.
I see.
And just do good marketing, and like do like this, say this stuff that sounds good. Yeah. For me, Nick Howard was a big disappointment. Like I learned so much from him in the beginning, his approach, and like just I remember like seeing like some live game of like where he's making this like fish plays on stream. Like what the fuck? Like I thought this guy was actually good.
But he's
like very good at marketing.
But he's got the old access to the data, right? That's his strength.
Yeah. I guess. Yeah. I don't know. Like I don't like talking shit about people. I don't know. To be fair, I don't know too much about him nowadays, and how active he is even. So I cannot comment too much on that. But I just remember saying like I used to like really following him a lot, and actually I did learn. So his concepts were valid. They did really help my game. But I just remember seeing some fish plays from him. I was like, okay, what? Okay. It's just not that good.
Wow. Okay.
Bang, bang.
So now, I mean, like, you are like fountain of knowledge. I had like a list of like those like questions, but like I can't ask all of them. So I'm actually like really curious about how you came to this.
Take them in order of priority, and we see how many we we get through.
Yeah, and actually, like, I really want to ask about how your childhood and how you actually went through the NL 100, because there's like hundred, if not more, thousands people did exactly the same like your path, but they didn't make it. You're the one in I don't know how many, but you actually made it. So I actually want to know like what separates you from the rest. So I think
Yes.
yeah, start. The question is, you started 2010 playing poker, or is that the
2011 a bit more seriously, yes.
Okay.
And so like 12 years, like 2013 actually being a pro.
okay? How
Like
did you
actually started playing for a living.
learn or know about poker? Like, what was your first experience about poker?
Yeah, there was this YouTuber I was watching, Athene Wins, who was like an old school YouTuber. He's a gamer playing World of Warcraft. I did not even play World of Warcraft, but he was just entertaining to watch.
Yeah.
He was like a character, and I saw like one of his videos, like, oh, he started playing online poker and like making a lot of this money, and like, yeah, he's making it seem so easy and he's making so much money, but like probably for him, like he was making money. He's like, but he was this like hardcore obsessive crazy guy, and like he was very smart as well, and he didn't actually make a lot of money, but he did make it look very easy, and that's what got me into poker. Oh, this is gonna be easy, and I love playing. Computer games. I really love like spending time in front of my computer playing games. That's my coming up in my teenage years. That's what I was doing a lot of the time. You would find me like in internet cafes playing with friends, or like at home, like just gaming. And like, oh wait, I can still keep gaming and like, oh, but also like make money. I don't need the job. Oh, this is awesome, because I was like in university, just starting out like in university, and yeah, that sounded very cool. Being able to make money in front of your PC by playing some kind of game, like a card game. But okay, fine, it doesn't have the sickest graphics, but I mean, it gives me money, so I'll take it. That's actually how I started.
What was your major?
How I found out about poker.
What was your
Yeah. I studied like in university sociology, so with me and my career paths, whatever, and this kind of like professional stuff, like non-poker stuff, I never had like an inclination towards a specific job. So I was never passionate about a specific career path. There was not one career path that I really like this. So I kind of cruised, as in like, I don't know like what I want to do. So, but I always knew I want to do something and be independent and be my own boss, a kind of an entrepreneurial mindset. Like my parents were like kind of like business owners. So probably I had that example, which helped. And I knew kind of like that, and I did not have a career path. So I just went to university because people would go to university. I did not have like a path I really wanted to go on. And that's why I chose sociology, because I was interested in psychology, but I was too lazy to study for the extra exam. The psychology university had an extra exam, and I need to do some extra studying for the no, fuck that. I'm just gonna go in this one because I had good grades for my final exam in high school. I had good grades there. So I'm just gonna use that to get into this like sociology school, and then master's degree in marketing and like public opinion, something like that. But honestly, I just went there because that's what people were doing, and I had no idea what I was gonna do. So I did not take it too seriously, I would say, yeah. But I never had a job, basically.
Oh, okay. Just like a summertime
never had.
intern or something like that. That's it.
I had like a bit of an internship because I had to do it, part of my master's degree, and the team there really liked me, and I like maybe collaborated with them like a bit more, but just doing like random stuff, like boxing things in and making like packages to send, like nothing too crazy.
Yeah.
But they just liked my vibe. So but that's kind of like that short internship, that's like a few months. That's the only thing that I did that was close to having a job.
Okay. Then I guess you graduated and everybody getting job, but you decided to play poker.
Yeah, I mean, I was immature. Like what? Yeah, like jobs thing kind of like I don't like jobs. Like I don't want to get a job just because people are getting jobs. Okay, I want to go to university, but I just came here because okay, I just wanted to move away from like my place. I went to Bucharest, the capital, and just like the benefit was having independence and having my own life. It's very good that I did it because like I moved out of my parents' place and had that independence and learned to manage my own life and being irresponsible, of course, being irresponsible at first, and then learning to manage my life just because I want to, not because someone was there to like tell me what to do. Um, that was the main benefit, but uh, that's basically the biggest thing that was kept me going basically.
And after
I
that,
forgot what.
after that, you, I guess, somewhat, well, you, as you say, you didn't take it seriously. But 2014, February 18th, actually, you made a blog post, fuck regular life, that was your vibe, what made you do that? Like, what switch? Like, you flipped the switch, right? You just needed to go serious. What was the turning point? What happened?
Yeah. So I feel like in a police interview here. So Mr. Daniel, we see here like 2014, July 18th. Were you at this place or were not?
And posting some videos
yeah.
about kissing and stuff.
Yeah, freestyling.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. So I was always unconventional. Like I always, yeah, like fuck regular life. I remember that. It all started probably in high school when I watched Fight Club. That's like I feel like so many, like every poker player's favorite movie or something. Like a lot of this, like I think it's the favorite movie of so many guys. I'm a kind of ashamed that's my favorite movie as well now. But yeah, that really changed my perspective on like really kind of got me into this flipped my mindset to like fuck the system, like fuck society, like not taking things for granted anymore. Like this is what I hear from society, so this is how it should be. Like really having a critical thinking and really wanting to like make my own mark and like live life how I want to live it, not how people think I should live it. So that's kind of like the whole fuck regular life. And then in that same period, I described like I was very, 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 very shy with girls. Like up to like 18, 19, I never had a girlfriend. I was very shy. And that's how I found like this kind of like pickup communities online, and like learned from that. And that really helped me because up to that point, my best strat for meeting girls was, I have this girl I'm in love with since like 2 years and she has no idea. And I'm just trying to be her best friend. And somehow she will realize, I want to marry this guy or something.
Wow.
And spoiler, that doesn't work like that. It doesn't work like that. But okay, this is not working. And then I found something online with like pickup stuff. I still remember it was like cocky and funny. This technique of like you just being a bit more teasing girls and just being a bit more playful teasing and like, whoa, I can tease, like I can be kind of mean actually if I want to, but I thought you just should be just very nice. So like kind of being a bit of an asshole. And yeah, this girl I was in love with for like the past 2-3 years, I started like trying some of that with her because that was part of me already, but I was like, no, I should just be very nice. Because that's what movies tell you or something. I don't know. I don't know why we all think that. And I started seeing like her responding like differently and like it worked. And that opened up this whole universe of like, maybe like attraction as well is one of those things that it's not like how I always thought it is or how society people think it is. So that really opened my mind and really got me like very intrigued about attraction and how it works, and like seeing like this stuff is not at all how I thought it is. And that further got me to explore again this alternative outlooks on life. And again ties into that like fuck regular life. I became very interested in like how like dynamics between men and women actually work, and later on like relationships, something I really got passionate like how they work and being a good partner. So yeah, that period of my life, I went very crazy. Like, I actually ended up like hooking up with this like girl, like love of my life, like 3 years, like in
Wow.
high school. Yeah, I'm the crazy exception, and I was not even good looking back then,
Okay.
like this good looking, because I had like a lot of acne and I was like very introverted and shy, very yeah, um, very unconfident, very low confidence, and that kind of got me intrigued. And then yeah, this like early 20s for me was this. And yeah, you saw that video, that crazy video. That's kind of like, yeah, I was with her like for like 2 3 years, but like that's all I wanted, just to get with her. But like I got that bug in my head. Okay, but there's so much more to explore, and like how the world actually works. And yeah, like after a while, like we broke up, and I really explored again like social dynamics. I was like really crazy. Like I had friends that were like in the same mindset as me, and had like a lot of crazy adventures. Yeah, like you see some of that in like some of the clips from my video. And yeah, early 20s for me was a lot of me like playing around, like experimenting, like socially as well, like meeting girls, like having fun. And that kind of delayed me from like being that good at poker actually. And then when I went to Malta, I started taking poker way more seriously. But before that, there was this period where I was being kind of like unconventional with my lifestyle. I was like, okay, like yeah, fuck regular stuff. I fuck like reality, and there's the world. The world works very differently. So let's explore that, and that's what I did.
I see. You're I guess trying to reach out how far you can go before you, yeah,
Yes.
because you didn't know what it was. So, and I think earlier in this podcast, like you mentioned about the Malta, bluff the spot, but I think that was your biggest, I guess, jump, right? Basically, you had a whole bankroll 10K and rent was 850 euro,
Yeah.
and you just took the opportunity. Only know 3 months or so. You don't even know how they look, but you took the jump. So I like to
Yeah.
know like what happened and how was your experience.
Yeah. Yeah. Actually, like somehow, like like recently, I found a video of me like my first day in Malta.
Oh
So I
yeah.
kind of remember like, yeah, how I felt. Um, I always my philosophy. Okay, like I resonated. Like I think in my early 20s, in this period I just mentioned, I also developed this philosophy of my path, my mission is the most important thing in my life.
Mm.
And my purpose, basically what I want to do, that's the most important thing in my life, and I'm willing to sacrifice things for that, or I just so that's why, like, but I don't really see it as a sacrifice, because that's by far the most important thing. So yeah, when I went before going to Malta, I was actually in a period of my life where I knew I wanted to like step up with poker, and I knew I wanted like a big change. I was ready for a big change in my life. That's why, like, for me, it was, yeah, like from outside, it like sounds like a crazy big step. Um, and yeah, it was, it was definitely very crazy. But I even ended my rent contract. Like my rent contract, I did not really look for new rent in Bucharest. And actually, I was already back home with my parents, waiting for something. Like, so I was actually waiting for a big opportunity to like, I was even contemplating moving to Canada with another poker friend, but then this came up. Um, so I think like one thing is like, I was willing to pay the price. I was willing to take the risk because it aligned with like my purpose. So I know, like I had a girlfriend in Romania, and I had all my friends. I had my whole life there, and yeah, it was a big step because I remember seeing this video again for the first day. It's like everything is new here. I know it. I don't know anyone. Like this, like whole new country. It's just me by myself. I don't even have a lot of money. Have no idea where this will go, but I know it's aligned with my purpose. So I'm I'm willing to step out of my comfort zone, what's normal, and bet on myself. And I think that's what people should do more. Bet on yourself. Like I like know there is risk, but go in the direction you want to go, even though there is risk there and it can turn out badly. But make a bet on yourself. That's why it's a bet, because you don't know the outcome. But make a bet on yourself, and it generally works out fine. Sometimes it doesn't, but even if it doesn't, you kind of learn from it, and it shows you other leaks that maybe you did not know before. But you still, it's kind of like that: you win or you learn. So that's how it felt. Like, it felt very crazy. Yeah, like it felt like an adventure. Honestly, it was not like, I know for everyone else like big risk, but for me it's like, oh cool, like I'm just doing this like crazy thing. That's how it felt like.
It actually aligned too. So, it's almost like it fell
I
on
was
your
ready.
lap, right? It just happened. And I was watching you graph, and until you went back to Romania, like end of 2016, that time, maybe you learned more something. You learned how to grind, but your graph didn't like skyrocketed, right? Like it didn't happen yet. So after that, that experience, but you're still kind of stuck. Then
Yes.
how did you, move toward from there?
Yeah, it was so frustrating. That's a period. It's easy to forget by me, because it was such a tough period of like, you really just keep grinding for years. You keep grinding and you're just in the same place and you're like stagnating and you're not moving forward. It feels so frustrating. It feels very, very bad. I remember this low point in Malta. I always like saying this story because at the moment it was very sad, but like now it's kind of funny. That I remember I was down to 4K bankroll. I was in Malta down to 4K bankroll, and again, like like that. Yeah, my expenses were like big. So I was like, okay, if I don't turn it around now, I have to move back home. And I've been downswinging, and of course I have all these expenses, and it felt so frustrating and overwhelming. And I was like very, very sad. And I remember like I kind of felt like I wanted to cry. And what I did is, okay, I kind of feel like crying. This kind of feels like this really sucks. So this is like such a bad situation. But what I will do, at least I will cry, but go cry on the beach because it's more dramatic. Because it was also in the evening at night, so nobody will see me. But I'm just gonna cry on the beach because it's way more dramatic. I'm just gonna go there and cry. So yeah, that's what I did, and I just cried it out. I went on the beach. I was like walking by myself on the beach. I was like recording myself. Like that's kind of like how I go through tough times usually. I record myself. Like I kind of like talk to myself, and I cried it out. And okay, this is really bad. This really sucks, but I have no option just to keep going. I don't have a backup plan. I don't have like the second option. I'm just kind of okay, back to the grind tomorrow. And yeah, it is very tough. It was very tough, and it was not, oh yeah, just click and just go. I struggled for quite a long time, and that was the hardest period probably in my career. But I do remember one point, because at some point it's also important to know when to quit. I think I would probably make a video on that, because I think like quitting poker is, many people should quit poker. That's kind of like it's tough to hear, but I was contemplating quitting, and I think it's very good that I was contemplating quitting, because yeah, whatever, like I'm just in this spot like 3 years. I think like my bankroll is the same for like the past 3 years. Like I should be asking myself questions. I should really think, okay, probably I should quit. So I do remember this point where I decided, I was still in Malta, and I decided, okay, you know what, I'm gonna give myself 6 months, and if by the end of 6 months I was still playing 100 NL, 200 NL, probably 200. If by the end of 6 months, I'm not playing at least 400 NL, I'm just gonna quit. Like there's no point. Like you shouldn't just keep trying, persisting, and that made me put extra effort in, because okay, I'm actually gonna quit. So like, if I quit, let's at least feel like I gave it my best, and then it's gonna be easier to quit. But that's how it, and then it just worked out. Just maybe I put extra effort, or then I started progressing more, and probably with the solvers really helped me as well. made things click even better. Again, I got obsessed about solvers and like being in the lab many hours a day. But it was like a lot of it was mental, and I think, yeah, there were arguments to quit, but I didn't, and I was gonna quit, but things actually started working out. And then I got to 400 nil, and then the skyrocket thing was I got to 400 nil. I was living with MMA, and he actually staked me for high stakes back then, and I'm actually very grateful to him for that, because he believed in me more than I did, because he saw, like, he knew, like, I was coaching students, spot students as well, and we were living together, of course, talking about the game all the time, and he saw how good I was, but my bankroll was lagging behind my ability a lot. My ability was my bankroll was lagging behind my ability. Yeah, I was too good for the games I was playing. So then, like, okay, like, why don't I just take you for high stakes, because you're obviously very good. So I don't have to like grind up the bankroll like slowly, because I was never like a big volume player. I just really wanted to improve. That was the biggest thing for me, not grinding. So yeah, then like I just jumped into high stakes, and it worked out.
So that actually ties up to your, poker friends, right? Having a community, having someone play together, back up, like circle, something like that, it helped.
Yeah. Being in that reality there, that it helped me way more than I realized, probably. Being in the reality of like, oh wait, these guys like are also like playing this crazy card game. And like, I mean, if you think about it, that's kind of crazy. You're like clicking things on your computer like cards, and you're like making money like that.
Yeah.
And just, bro, it's like card games. Kind of, well, who the fuck plays card games? And like taking that seriously, it's crazy. But if like I was living with MMA then, and another like guy who's also playing like mid to high stakes, German guy, Eraser. Shout out to him. Many people know him from back in the day, who's a Run It Once coach. And yeah, it really helped me, like, oh, this is a thing. Like online poker, it's a thing. It's normal. It's reality. Like this is how things work. And for us, it was our reality. And I think like just my brain just seeing like, okay, it's normal to make good money in poker. I think that really helped a lot.
I see. A little going back to when you're lowest point, just considering quitting poker, and I'm sure that a lot of people watching this, some of them are in that stage.
Yes.
Do you have any advice if they're in that moment of quitting or just can't see anything forward?
Yeah. I think the hardest part about this like quitting part is kind of like thinking like you're a failure if you quit, and thinking like, oh, it didn't work out, so I'm just like a bad person, or like I'm stupid or whatever. I think that's the biggest challenge with it, and that's why people are scared of it. But and people I worked with as well, like what I would say is, poker is just such a specific thing, and you need such a specific set of abilities to get to be a good poker player, that it's kind of hard to have all of these abilities. There's so many you can, and if you're missing one, you're fucked. You cannot just perform. If you don't have like bankroll management, it doesn't matter how good you are. If you're like amazing poker pro, but you tilt and you like spew away like 15 buy-ins when you tilt, you cannot be a pro. Like there's like so many things that have to work together. If you play no hands, again, you're very low volume. Okay, good luck. You're not going to be very good. If you don't like studying, you're not going to be very good. If you don't have like an analytical mind, you're not going to be good. So there's just like simply like, poker is not for everyone. I think that like if you want to quit, like realizing poker is not for everyone. And like when I think about people quitting, I would tell them, it's not like you're not a great person, but probably just simply your skill set is not the best for poker. You probably would maybe you could perform like way better than I am in poker, but in some other field. If you're not performing well in poker, it doesn't say something bad about it. Maybe it's just the wrong field for you, and that's totally fine. It doesn't mean you're a bad person, or like you're whatever, not smart or whatever. maybe, I mean, you're costing yourself happiness and time and stuff. Maybe you would be like much better and you'll be happier in another. Don't cling to something that there are signs it's not for you. And again, it doesn't say something bad. Like if I did work, okay, I mean, I did work, honestly, I did work with people, like had students that I can tell, like, they're just not gonna make it. They don't have the skill set. They don't have the combination of skills. And I would not think like, oh, this guy is just not smart enough. This guy just do it. He just won't be successful. So I would honestly think like poker is probably not for him. Like he probably can do like great things in other areas, but it's just not his thing. And ask yourself like if you think like poker is your thing or not, and look at and be willing to be honest with yourself and see how much you tried. And if you've been trying for like 1, 2, 3, 4 years or more, and you're still not where you want to be, that's fine. But maybe you could be doing something else that you could be doing better in. And I would say, yeah, give yourself a time limit. That's what I did. Give yourself a time limit. And don't set it like, oh, if I don't play 5K by the end of the year, don't go like crazy, but like see improvement. Your goal should be like, oh, I'm going up stakes. I am improving. My bankroll is growing. And I'm seeing progress. But if you are in a place where you're not seeing significant progress for like 1 to 3 years, yeah, you should be asking yourself questions. And yeah, maybe give yourself like 1 year or whatever. But I think a lot of poker pros are stuck in this being mediocre and just like making enough money to get by, just like covering their expenses month to month or like year to year. And this really hurts, and I think it's like quite a sensitive topic for a lot of players. But this is not sustainable. You are not having like a CV, you don't have a job.
Yep.
The like chances are poker is not gonna be 10 times more profitable all of a sudden. The industry is not like, oh, gonna explode or something. Chances are. So your income maybe is just gonna stay the same or even go down. And what's your backup? What's your plan for the future? Okay, you're living now, okay, comfortably. And I know poker can give you such a comfortable life. You can just do whatever you want, whenever you want. But think about like 5 years from now, 10 years. What's your plan? You're just gonna still be a mediocre poker player? Or are you telling yourself, oh no, I'm gonna be like a high stakes crusher? Well, why are you not already a high stakes crusher if you've been like going at it for a while? So yeah, I think it's a tough conversation people should have with themselves, and I had it. I was playing like I was in Malta. I was probably playing like for like 4 or 5 years. I mean, that's a lot. I mean, I should have quit maybe, like, I don't know, earlier. So it's like, okay, don't give up too early, because yeah, I'm an example. Like I made it, like it took me a while. It took me like, I'm not those kind of like prodigy, like again, because I don't think I have like very good poker instincts, but I think I have like good analytical mind. And the solvers really helped me. But I was willing to quit. I was like, okay, fuck this shit. Like I'm not going anywhere. And it becomes very sad, frustrating. Yeah, 6 months or I'm gone. And be able to have that hard conversation with yourself, because that's the thing with reality and how reality works. It's gonna bite you sooner or later. If you just ignore it, oh, let's not think about this because this is sad, uncomfortable, whatever. Okay, cool. Be my guest. But it's gonna hurt way more like 3 years down the line where you have no options and you did not prepare for this. So you cannot avoid it. You can only delay it. And the more you delay it, the harder it is.
There are more people starting poker in Japan than people who are already playing, I think, because of the poker boom in Japan. So would you tell those, just because of poker and at the start, like it gets you, right? It's like really like, you're into a poker, you love a poker, you just dream about it. But like, would you tell them, have a backup plan or have like first, I guess first, what do you want to achieve or what do you want to get out from poker? Have that, then I guess give yourself some plan B or time limit.
Yes, so you should be, again, for that, yeah, that's something. Your goal should be, again, like go hard or go home.
Yeah.
You should not see poker as a job. You should not see poker like, my goal is to make enough money month to month. No, because it's not a job. Again, I said this earlier, and this is another aspect. This is not a job. This doesn't give you like security. Poker can just become much worse in 2-3 years. In what's your plan? So if you are into poker, okay, if you're like very young or you're young, okay, experiment, have fun, like go at it. Okay, you can always like switch between jobs and like, but be mindful that this is not a job where you just try to make your monthly wage like that, because you're not getting market skills like that are like adding value to the like job market or whatever, or to companies or whatever. You don't build those skills up. You don't build a CV. So I would say, yeah, if you are beginning, my advice is to go for the top and make a lot of money and be very successful. Don't settle for being mediocre. Give yourself, it's fine to like give yourself like 1 to maybe 3 years to kind of like dabble a bit, give yourself like a good chance to make it, but then be ruthless with like, okay, is this going somewhere or not? And it's fine if it's not. Like, that's the thing. Like, it's fine. Like it's like I said earlier, it's such a niche thing being an online poker player. Like, there's so many like things you need. Like, it's kind of like its own niche of people. Like, there's few people that can do this. And it doesn't mean these people are better than the other people. It's not like, oh, the poker players are like the best species in the world. And no, by far, not really at all. So it's not like, don't try to be one if you're not one of them. Don't try. Don't have this like, oh, this like the best thing to do. And if I cannot be a poker pro, no, there's probably many other things that you can do, and be open to that. Give it a shot. Sure, give it a shot, but don't be stuck in it. Don't get poker can make you a prisoner of it.
I see.
Poker is so seductive. You can be in your house, and then probably like Japanese people are more introverted than others. I don't know, maybe than other nations. I don't know the culture very well, but that's what my guess. And of course, you can just be in your house and just like click stuff online and have your own sleep schedule, go to bed when you want, do what you want, and all the freedom that comes with it. And again, being able to stay in your comfort zone. I get it. It's so seductive, but that's exactly why people get stuck in it, and it's hard to leave.
I see. That's a quite how'd you say? You're from bottom of your heart, right? That this is your man-to-man conversation, and I think this should be out there more, because this kind of conversation doesn't appear on the internet, right? Because when you see a YouTube, everybody's like, oh, I'm making 10K, I'm making this, poker is such a great things, but like
they're not. They had a good month. Okay, bro, you had a good month. You're making 10K. Cool, bro.
Yeah. It just has to be
poker is very hard. Like people like, yeah, of course that's marketing. People like be a critical thinker. Like, poker incentivizes them to portray themselves as being very profitable, making a lot of money, because that gives them a lot of views. Maybe they sell coaching. People like come to their coaching. They're incentivized to show you this, like, oh yeah, like just follow my 3-step plan, my system, and like you're gonna have this 10K months like I had. And no, yeah, you had a 10K month, then you had like 3 like minus like 8K months, you're actually down. Okay, like thanks, bro. Don't like believe anything like because of variance you can have like good months without being that good. Don't believe all of this stuff. And yeah, I agree, people don't have this conversation. That's why like I feel there is a lack. Not enough people are realistic. People are like, oh yeah, poker is the greatest thing ever and everyone can do it. No, I don't think everyone can do it. I think very few people can do it at a high level, and that's fine. Again, it doesn't say something bad about people, but just don't believe like all this hype. And I think that serves you well if you don't believe all the hype and you acknowledge, yeah, this is gonna be very hard. I need to be very committed. I had to be obsessed about this, and chances are like I'm not gonna make it, and approach it like that. And again, like maybe you should not play poker. That's fine. I know people don't like hearing this, but I'm saying it out of like, I want them to be happy. Like I want, like, out of like love for, like I care. Like I don't like to see people unhappy and struggling. I was like that as well, and it hurts me like when I see students or like stuff like that, they're not progressing that much and they're sad. Like I feel bad for them, and I think it is this lack of awareness that maybe you should be doing something else. It's a tough conversation. People don't like to think about this. Poker is so seductive. It's so scary to get back into the real world, get out of your bubble. It's very scary. You don't want to think about it, but it's not like, I don't think there's any benefit of not having this conversation. I think it's not like, oh, if you don't think about it, it's not there. No, it's going to bite you in the ass. Like, if you don't think about these things and if you don't consider them, you're going to get hit by them sooner or later. And it's going to be way worse when you don't expect it. And when you're like, wake up like 5 years from now and you're like older and you don't have any experience and now you're not really making money from poker anymore and you're lost, like, what do I do? Like, whew, that's going to be tough. So, yeah. Be prepared to see that's an option. And I think that should motivate you. I think like this tougher conversation, that this should motivate. Like, I better try harder. Like, I don't want to get into like stuck in this like mediocre land and just live month to month. Like, I'd better try harder. Like, yeah, spend less money as well. Let's try to spend less money. Let's try to grow that bankroll. Let's try to work harder, work smarter, optimize my performance, see myself as an athlete, bring the best I can every day, as much as possible. Of course, you'll have low days, you have unproductive days, fine, but most of the days should be good, consistent hard work and high performance. Give yourself room in your life to be obsessed with this, and yeah, take it as motivation, and be willing to look yourself in the eye and say, maybe it's not working after a while, but give yourself a time limit. Yeah.
I see. Well, thank you so much for the knowledge and experience. This is very valuable comment, and I'm actually running out of time, so I'm wrapping things up. And
we can go a bit more if you want. I can delay things a bit.
Okay.
Don't mind.
Yeah, I actually then wanted to ask about the mental game question, because as I was learning about you, everyone has mental game leaks, right? And I think one of them you mentioned in your blog post is self-critical. You're not really kind to yourself, right? And
Yes.
I do have the same kind of issue. And that actually a double-edged sword, because if you have that, you actually work harder, right? You always kind of slapping your ass, so you're like a stoic mindset, but you're also hurting yourself. So what is the how do you overcome, how to be more compassion towards yourself?
Yes. This is something I thought about a lot, because this is something I struggled with a lot. I mean, I still struggle to some extent, but I think now it's much better. And I think something you want to ask yourself here is like, even let's say for now, let's say like, yes, that's true, of like, you're more harsh with yourself, more critical, and it also helps you be more successful, right? Because you're more like, like, it sucks, this sucks, I suck, like, I need to get better. But I would ask you, would you rather have like a life where you feel like pretty good overall, you like you go through life where like somewhat like well-being, happy, like feel good about yourself and don't have a lot of success? Or would you rather have a life with a lot of success, but you feel like shit through all of that life? And I think I don't think it's worth it. Like, even if you do even if it makes you more successful and makes you like achieve like crazy goals, if you like feel like shit during all that time and you kind of like hate yourself during all that time, who are you really doing it for? Like,
Yeah.
you're like obviously hurting yourself through that. So why is like success? And I think maybe this like, again, I don't know why I'm making these like Japanese references today because again, I don't understand your guys, but and you can confirm this for me.
Sure.
But I think Japanese culture is a lot about duty, and like the duty you feel like of like, again, like success is like your duty. Like I have to like do this.
I think it's more
and
of like
it's-
not failing. Not failing. Is
okay,
the-
or like not feeling like a failure. Like and I think it's a lot about that. But why is that the end goal? Like why? Like is it worth achieving that and like living according to that and just suffering through your whole life? Is that the trade you want to do actually, like consciously, or do you think you should make that trade and that's in your culture or in your like how you are brought up and you're like just taking it for granted and you never examine this belief? So that's again this is like a conversation I had with myself, and because I struggled with this, and I realized, you know what, like even if this makes me like much more successful, but my whole life sucks, like I just feel bad internally, I just go through my life just feeling very self-critical all the time, you know what, like it's not worth it. I don't think it's worth it. Like I would rather just achieve less stuff and be happier. I mean, what's like we're dying, like nothing like really matters, like nothing, like we don't carry anything with us, like the success we just start at a higher level next life with this everything you have now just transfers. Okay, then maybe that's worth it, but it doesn't really matter like the material success you have. I mean my philosophy is like you want to live like a fulfilled life. You don't have to be happy all the time, but I don't think it's worth again suffering all the time. Ideally you like, and you can be happy by suffering. I mean you can suffer for goals, but you're aligned with that suffering and you actually are happy during that time because you're fulfilled, and it's painful. But yeah, when you do a big marathon, for example, I was like doing a marathon recently, and that really sucks. It's really painful, but I'm happy. I want to do this marathon, and I like the challenge of it. And you can be happy while like suffering, but not like beating yourself up, not by being self-critical. That's the first point. Maybe you don't want to live like that. The second point is that whole belief of like it makes you more productive and you need that because why do we do it? It's like subconsciously somewhere we have a belief that this is necessary if we want to be successful, and this is a good motivation strategy. We motivate ourselves by like, come on, you suck, you have to do better, like this didn't work out, why didn't you do this well, like again, try harder, whatever. And I actually did research on this. Do research on this and realize no, that's not, that doesn't work. That's not a good motivational strategy. By being self-critical and being too negative towards yourself, it's actually detrimental. A better motivational strategy is actually acknowledging the things you are doing well and trying to do more of that and focusing on what you're doing good, not on what you're doing bad. Actually, if you focus too much on what you're doing bad, so being self-critical, it actually makes you less efficient over time. It actually lowers your performance because it lowers your self-esteem. It lowers what you believe you deserve out of life. And it actually makes you worse. So there's actually that was a big click for me, like realizing, you know what, this doesn't serve me like in any way being self-critical. And I'm kind of questioning I realized that whole story I told myself, oh yes, but I need this to be successful. That's actually that's bullshit. That's false. And that's when I decided that, you know what, there is no benefit for this. So I really want to work on it. And I decided there is no end. There is no, that voice and so having the same thing. You have these things in your mind that you're not satisfied about. And you're thinking your mind tells you if I just fix this, then I'll be happy. Then I'll be satisfied with myself. So why am I doing this bad thing? Because if I fix it, then I'll be satisfied. But what you don't realize, that's actually a lie, because no, your mind is trained for that, and that's what I realized for myself. your mind will always find the next thing. Even if you fix that and then fix the next thing, then fix the next, it will always, because it's trained to find the negative parts. You trained it. It will always find something to be critical about. So there is no end. There is no success. There is no like, oh, I made it. I'm not critical anymore because I solved everything. There is no solving everything. Your mind will always find something that is wrong. So what worked for me, what I advise people like struggling like with the same thing, what works for me, and I still do it now every day, is, well, first of all, realize this is not serving you. And I think that's a big step. Like, it's not serving you at all. It doesn't serve you. It doesn't serve others around you. You're just like uselessly doing this to yourself because you learned it unconsciously. That's the first thing. The second thing is like, okay, now the goal is to shift this negative thinking, this like focusing on the negative, because you trained yourself over so many years to focus on the negative, and try to replace that with focusing on the positive. And that's a more efficient way of performance. And anyway, you will be more successful anyway, because that's the whole point. Okay, let's say that's the whole point. You're going to be more successful. So try to focus more, retrain your mind to focus on what you're doing well, instead of trying to do like, oh, always like, oh, what's wrong? No, refocus your mind on what you're doing well, and you'll be happier, you'll perform better, and it's just like everything will just be much better. There is no trade-off. There is like just everything will be much better. And one simple habit you can take and do, like I did this and I saw big improvements every day. At the end of the day, and maybe you saw this actually me like in the Discord with the challenge, with the journaling. Every day, write down 3 things you are proud of, 3 things that you are like, that were positive about what you did, about yourself. And it doesn't have to be from that day. Like something I like about myself, it can be like major things. Oh, like I'm really glad I made this big decision in my life. And so I don't know, for example, like, I'm really glad I ended this relationship and I'm now in a better place and I had the strength to do that. Like, I'm so thankful to myself. Like, I was like such a boss for doing that. And just doing that like every day, 3 things every day, your mind slowly starts looking for those things. Oh, wait, this is actually cool that I did this. This is actually nice. And be patient with it. Do it as a daily exercise. Give yourself like, I would say like just surrender to the fact that you're doing this forever. And this takes like a few minutes every day. It's not like you're paying a big price. It takes a few minutes every day. Because don't expect to rewire like 10-year plus of like negative patterns with like journaling for 3 days. That's not realistic. So it's a work in progress, but it works. Like, I saw big results after like 1 month already, like after a few weeks. 1 month, 2 months of like 3-4 minutes a day of like, I'm just happier overall. And I see like, I acknowledge myself for doing good things, and I mean, okay, that's definitely worth it. And that's kind of like how I got over it. And again, there is no point of having this. You don't have to struggle and suffer from this.
I think that's what David Goggins talks about, the little cookie jar. If you read his book, you know, he's got the little memories.
Yeah,
good
I read
memories.
both books.
Yeah, great books. And actually, go ahead.
No, go ahead. Yeah, finish the point.
Actually, I wanted to ask you, like, if there any book that you recommend, if it's poker related, non-poker related, anything.
Book recommendations. I can be quite like, I have like some niche things, but like I would say generally like things that helped me. So with poker, with performance, I really liked Relentless by Tim Grover.
Okay.
I really advise that book. Like, it's about like the mindset that it takes to win, and like having that like really obsessive, like really like huge high performer mindset. Like from this coach, he's this coach that worked with like the greats in basketball, with Kobe Bryant, Michael Jordan, like all these like top performers, and their mindset. And I think like even reading about that and seeing how those guys think, it makes you be like that. It makes you be more like relentless. It makes you it makes it more of your reality. So that book for just like crushing it and bringing that intensity. I think it really puts you in that mind space. The David Goggins books, that now that you mentioned it, I really like them because it reminds you like how much we can do. And maybe like when when I read those books, I'm like, fuck, I'm a bitch. Like
Yeah.
like there's like this guy like is like going like so much beyond his limits. Like it makes me wonder like how much more can I do if I don't settle as much as I'm doing. And again, I think it's for me, like those are books that got me in a space that I want to get more out of life and really like destroy the limits I have,
When you
and be willing to suffer for it.
when you say David Goggins' book, you're talking about the first one, Can't Hurt Me, right? There's 2 books actually. So
Yeah, I know both books. I actually liked the second book more,
yeah, okay.
but like that, the second book I liked it more. Never finished.
Yeah.
But I think like both books. Like I think you do need to start with the first one. And I have friends that liked the first book more. So actually, it's a book that's very famous among my friend group here. We all read it or read them both books. It's a cult. So probably like, but some friends like the first book more. But it's just about like that mindset and like the intensity, but more towards like his limits. Yeah. Because first one, Relentless, is about competing, and those guys like being relentless competitors. Goggins is more like just overall like approach to your life and like crushing your limit personally in like your relationship with yourself in your life. And there's a time and a place for that. I think he's kind of too intense for most people, and I think most people should not live like him, and they can't anyway. So it's fine. You don't need to like be crazy and like he's that type of guy who's very self-critical, right? Like he's always like, you're a bitch, whatever, and he pushes himself like hard because of that. But I think that's not for everyone. I don't know how happy he is. I'm not saying like he should live like this or like that, but definitely someone we can learn from. And let me think. I want to give another less crazy or intense recommendation for a book that. Okay, I have one, and this one is less known. This one is more out there, I think. In some like entrepreneur groups, this author is very well known. Have you heard about Ayn Rand? Fountainhead, Atlas Shrugged. So I would say Ayn Rand. She's an author that when I read her stuff, I was like, whoa, women can be like really, really smart as well.
That's your Romanian, I don't know, background.
Exactly. That's the Romanian coming out. I was like, whoa, sick. She's a genius. I was like, whoa, this is impressive. But so I would say Fountainhead. Both are big books. I think Atlas Shrugged is a bit more complex. I would say like Fountainhead is a good starting point, and if you really liked it, go to Atlas Shrugged as well. But Fountainhead, because it's a book about living true to yourself authentically and carving your own path in life and being fine with like even like going through like years and years of pain, or like what people would see as pain, but for you that's kind of the only way to do it. Not bowing to like superficiality, society standards again, right? You can see the theme from Fucking Regular Life come up again, and just living authentic to yourself and living virtuously and like having like high like values you stick to. It's fiction. This is a fiction book, but it really inspired me to can get the most out of life and live as aligned as I can with my values, and realizing there's nothing worth compromising your standards and values and ethics for. And even if most people say, okay, that's wrong, whatever, you know what's right, and being true to yourself is a very important thing. But yeah, I would say like these 3 books should be a good starting point.
Yeah, thank you very much. And do you have any message to Japanese poker communities?
Yeah, get me in your private games. Yeah, a message.
Yes, because our community is still young. We are just experiencing poker boom. We're just like coming into the poker industry about like last 3 or 4 years. So it's not as established. You know, it's a lot of new players, a lot of new poker players, a lot of upcoming players. So if you have message to them.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, I'm really glad to hear that. I did not know like there's like big poker boom going on there, and a message like enjoy poker. I think it's like a really enjoyable sport. Let's say like the really enjoyable discipline. Have fun with it. I think Japanese people are like very hard workers anyway. Stop being that crazy post flop. Like I don't know, all the Japanese guys like are like psychos post flop and pre flop. They're just like tough to play against, and they're like a bit too crazy. Try to keep that under control. The Japanese rage. But yeah, like I'm really glad to hear like all of you guys are so passionate about poker. Poker taught me so much about life. I always like to think, and I'm not the only one who thinks this, like big, like very like smart guys think this as well, but I think poker is a very good toy game for life. So like a lot of the skills in poker translate to like so many areas of your life. Really, I would say like take the lessons from poker and try to translate them in your life as well. Like the whole Zen thing, right? The whole like I'm a big fan of Japanese Zen, and the whole like Zen thing of not being attached to the outcome. And I know like it's more like of a Buddhist thing as well, whatever. But I would say like an advice for you like in the beginning for you guys is focus on, and I think Japanese culture kind of does this as well. I don't know. I have all these reads apparently. Like I don't know what they're based on, but I think you guys are quite good on doing max effort on things and not caring too much about the outcome. I think you maybe are naturally in your culture. Maybe that's a thing. Maybe not. But my message to you is like enjoy the process and focus on improving, and don't care about the money too much. Focus on being as good as you can and improving as much as you can, but blend that in with game selection that we said earlier, because you can be like an amazing poker pro if you're playing the bad games, you're losing, and that discourages you. That there's no point. You don't make money. You feel bad about yourself. That sucks. So focus on the improving part and enjoy poker for what it is. Don't focus too much on the money. The best players are very in love with the game, are very passionate about the game itself, not the monetary aspects. That's not gonna make you last. You're in the beginning now, you're passionate, but keep fire to your like passion about the game, not for like the money it brings you. And Japan is one country I never visited. I was actually talking to my girlfriend just now, like it's a country I would really want to visit. So yeah,
welcome
if you guys have like tips, if you guys want to like I don't know, get in touch with you guys, give me an experience when I'm there. It's such an intriguing culture. Like I think I would really love it there. From like everyone says good things about you guys there. So I'm like, I've never been to Asia actually, and like Japan would be the first country I would want to go to in Asia, because there's so many cool things about Japan. So I'm really glad to actually reach the Japanese audience through you, because I have a very good opinion about Japanese people so far.
Because of the time running out, like we didn't get into your maybe anime things or a little bit of the Japanese culture exposure, but maybe next time, maybe there's a round two, like whenever you have a time. But yeah,
sure.
Thank you so much for your time. and energy, and I think your honesty and integrity, like that shows that even like a high stakes player, we are kind of like out of touch, like who they are, what kind of people they are. But like it's really great to see that, I mean, like maybe you're the only one who's like this, but like actually like human, like not robots, right? Like, it's amazing to see, high stakes pro in the flesh. So thank you so much again for this opportunity, and I hope that I was able to deliver, something to let everyone knows that who you are. So.
Yeah. Hopefully now there's gonna be a bit more description to like handsome guy.
Yeah.
In there. So it was very good to be interviewed by you. I think you were very well prepared. I really liked the questions, and it's good to share. I think like also because I've been in this industry for so long, again, like realizing probably like 15 years. Well, I am at the point where it also, because I've had like a good amount of success, for me it feels good to share with people. That's why like I do coaching as well. Like I actually enjoy coaching because I do want to see people do better in life, and in general like that too also gives me like satisfaction. So but I know a lot of high stakes guys are good guys. I know that they are more like private because they're not the most social guys in general, but there's like good guys out there in the high stakes community. I have like good friends that play high stakes.
Oh, well, looking forward to see you guys in a gang, high stakes gang coming to Japanese underground. Maybe play some Yakuza or something.
Let us know. Let us know. Well, exactly. Hopefully nothing too dangerous or crazy, but I do want to visit one day and have a maybe like, I don't know, backpacking trip or something. But it was a very good interview. I really enjoyed it actually, and I like that you were well prepared. It was good to be on the receiving end. I did not have to prepare anything. I tried to say things how it is, and I told you like I don't need to prepare. I'm just gonna talk about poker and myself. Like this is easy. I mean, there is nothing like you cannot put me in a tough spot. This is just my life. So glad. I hope I brought some value, and I hope I help people out. And thanks for having me.
Yeah. So today's interview guest was Romanian high stakes pro and cash game coach, ShowOfForce Daniel. Thank you so much for watching. See you next time.